로사 파크스의 명언 영어로 배우기.
Rosa Parks, 1913 to 2005, American civil rights activist. Rosa Louise McCauley Parks was an African-American civil rights activist and seamstress, whom the U.S. Congress dubbed the mother of the modern-day civil rights movement. Parks is famous for her refusal on 1 December 1955 to obey bus driver James Blake's demand that she relinquish her seat to a white man. Her subsequent arrest and trial for this act of civil disobedience triggered the Montgomery Bus Boycott, one of the largest and most successful mass movements against racial segregation in history, and launched Martin Luther King Jr., one of the organizers of the boycott, to the forefront of the civil rights movement. Her role in American history earned her an iconic status in American culture, and her actions have left an enduring legacy for civil rights movements around the world. Let's hear Rosa Parks' famous quotes.
I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear. I'm tired of being treated like a second-class citizen. Memories of our lives, of our works and our deeds will continue in others. I would like to be remembered as a person who wanted to be free, so other people would be also free. Each person must live their life as a model for others. Time begins the healing process of wounds cut deeply by oppression. We soothe ourselves with the salve of attempted indifference, accepting the false pattern set up by the horrible restriction of Jim Crow laws.
This sentence from Rosa Parks suggests that the passage of time is essential for healing the profound wounds inflicted by oppression. It acknowledges that people often cope with such oppression by trying to appear indifferent or unaffected by it, even though they are not. This attempted indifference is a way of dealing with the pain caused by the terrible injustices of Jim Crow laws, a system of racial segregation and discrimination in the United States. In essence, Parks is highlighting the enduring impact of oppression, and how individuals may outwardly appear unaffected while still carrying the emotional scars of discrimination and injustice.
People always say that I didn't give up my seat because I was tired. But that isn't true. I was not tired physically. No, the only tired I was tired of giving in. There is just so much hurt, disappointment, and oppression one can take. The line between reason and madness grows thinner. Have you ever been hurt and the place tries to heal a bit, and you just pull the scar off of it over and over again? I have never been what you would call just an integrationist. I know I've been called that. Integrating that bus wouldn't mean more equality. Even when there was segregation, there was plenty of integration in the South. But it was for the benefit and convenience of the white person, not us.
In it not easy to remain rational and normal mentally in such a setting where, even in our airport in Montgomery, there is a white waiting room. There are restroom facilities for white ladies and colored women, white men and colored men. We stand outside after being served at the same ticket counter instead of sitting on the inside. I was born 50 years after slavery. In 1913, I was allowed to read. My mother, who was a teacher, taught me when I was a very young child. The first school I attended was a small building that went from 1st to 6th grade. There was one teacher for all of the students. There could be anywhere from 50 to 60 students of all different ages. You spend your whole lifetime in your occupation, actually making life clever. easy and convenient for white people. But when you have to get transportation home, you are denied an equal accommodation. Our existence was for the white man's comfort and well-being. We had to accept being deprived of just being human. It was not pre-arranged. It just happened that the driver made a demand and I just didn't feel like obeying his demand. I was quite tired after spending a full day working. I don't think well of people who are prejudiced against people because of race. The only way for prejudiced people to change is for them to decide for themselves that all human beings should be treated fairly. We can't force them to think that way.
I had felt for a long time that if I was ever told to get up so a white person could sit, that I would refuse to do so. Racism is still with us. But it is up to us to prepare our children for what they have to meet. And, hopefully, we shall overcome. As far back as I can remember, I knew there was something wrong with our way of life when people could be mistreated because of the color of their skin. Let us look at Jim Crow for the criminal he is and what he has done to one life applied millions of times over these United States and the world. He walks us on a tightrope from birth.
This sentence from Rosa Parks underscores the need to recognize Jim Crow laws, a system of racial segregation and discrimination, as a criminal and deeply harmful entity. She calls for an examination of the profound damage it has inflicted on countless lives across the United States and even globally. The metaphor of Jim Crow, walking us on a tightrope from birth, illustrates how these discriminatory laws placed immense burdens and challenges on individuals from the moment they were born, symbolizing the lifelong struggle and precarious existence that many people of color face due to racial segregation and inequality. In essence, Parks is urging a critical examination of the systemic racism represented by Jim Crow laws and its lasting impact on individuals and communities.
I talked and talked of everything I know about the white man's inhuman treatment of the Negro. My only concern was to get home after a hard day's work. All I was doing was trying to get home from work. God has always given me the strength to say what is right. The Rosa and Raymond Parks Institute accepts people of any race. We don't discriminate against anyone. We teach people to reach their highest potential. I set examples by the way I lead my life.
Why do you all push us around? At the time I was arrested, I had no idea it would turn into this. It was just a day like any other day. The only thing that made it significant was that the masses of the people joined in. I have been refused entrance on the buses because I would not pay my fare at the front and go around to the rear door to enter. That was the custom if the bus was crowded up to the point where the white passengers would start occupying. Whites would accuse you of causing trouble when all you were doing was acting like a normal human being instead of cringing. Whatever my individual desires were to be free. I was not alone. There were many others who felt the same way.
오늘도 행복한 하루 보내세요. 유튜브에서 파요영어 검색으로 다른 주제 동영상도 살펴주세요. 감사합니다.